Hi guys, welcome to Tamra's Tarot Variety. I'm sorry about the camera angle and I'm not doing like the wide angle, it's just a little square. But trying to get the least amount of glare on my glasses. So anyway, today is December 17th, 2020. And I am channeling Robin Williams. Um, I don't even know where to start. He is so many things. He is simultaneously erratic, yet very, there we go. The glare is less. So he's simultaneously erratic, yet also calm and comforting. Such a strong presence. I've been channeling him for a while. In fact, I started channeling him before I knew that I could channel. Ooh, my eyes look so tired. I'm sorry, guys. So I would say the first, well, let me give you a little backstory. I am a fan of Robin Williams. You know, I grew up in the 80s and I loved his comedy and I loved his movies. And I saw some of his movies like later on as an adult. Um, and I've always liked him. I didn't follow him very closely. I didn't know all that what was going on with him. Um, but I've always cared for him. And the first time I think I channeled him was right when he passed, which I believe was 2014. I was in a restaurant in New York City, and I was sitting behind this couple, and they were like, I want to say tisking. He's helping me tell the story too. He's like, tisk, tisk, tisk. They were tisking his death. They were like, he's still gonna do him in tisk, tisk, tisk. Too bad. He's like, just say it. So they were like, oh, too bad. He was so funny, but we got into drugs, and drugs get the best of them, meaning like funny, talented people. So that made me so angry. And at that time, I had so much going on in my own life, and I was so busy, so I wasn't tuned into his death, and I definitely wasn't channeling at that time, but I just had this visceral reaction, and I just wanted to like shout at them, even though I didn't logically know what happened to Robin. I knew what they were saying was wrong, and that's because I was channeling him and I could hear his voice, and he was like, those assholes, that's wrong, and I don't want to be remembered for drugs. He's like, yeah, I did drugs, but that's not what killed me. So that was my first channeling of him. And I just feel like there have been times where I have channeled him. I myself have done stand-up comedy. I was big into improv for a long time. And I think that Robin Williams was a medium. So over the past week, I've been channeling him, and I've been writing some stuff down, and I channeled him on YouTube. Not knowingly, I was watching a video from this psychologist, Dr. Todd Grande, and he's amazing, but he was talking about Robin Williams' death, and same thing, there was a lot of talk about Robin's depression and the drugs, and I just out of nowhere wrote this comment. So sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place, but so is he, because he has so much to say. My right ear is just buzzing out of control. So let's backtrack a little bit, and I will go to the comment that I wrote on Dr. Grande's video. But so thank you, Robin. He's like, I'm gonna walk you through this. Thank you. So Robin was born on July 21st. This is some stuff that I wrote, and we're gonna go back and forth between what I wrote in the video. So he was born on July 21st, and he is a Cancer. I looked up his birthday, and it says, you know, just a little blip. It's a day, people who were born this day are optimistic, empathetic, and intuitive. And yes, Robin is telling me that he was a medium. So when he would do his, and I did this too on stage when I did improv, when he would just do his rants, well, he did stand up. He also did improv, but sometimes I would just go into character like him. So when he went into all those characters, and he seemed like he was all over the place. He was a medium, you guys. He was channeling different energies, different people. Okay, so now he wants me to go to the video. So like I said, oh, I'm getting a little bit of glare here. So like I said, Dr. Grande was doing a very good analysis of Robin, but he did focus a little too much on the drugs and the you know, the troubles of Robin. So anyway, I'm not going to replay the video, but I'm just going to tell you what I wrote. I have my computer here, which is what is causing the glare, and I'm really sorry about that. Robin's like, no one cares. Yeah, it's not about me, so don't look at my glasses. Let's listen to, and he's criticizing. He's saying there's too much nowadays. And remember, guys, when people come through, they have messages. So please take these messages from Robin. He's saying people are too focused these days on looks and technology. And he just said my like how people speak. And he said that all that stuff is important. But when you listen to artists, get the message. People are sometimes using all this stuff, and they're because they don't want to go deep, and they want to be critical, and they want to be right. So they're looking for things like glare in the glasses, or if the video is horizontal or vertical or has music. Guys, that stuff is great for certain things like music videos and professional videos on TV, but this is not about that. This is about the message. So, okay, whew, Robin, you get so heated. I do too. He's a Cancer, I'm a Cancer. We just get like that. We're annoying. He's laughing. I know, we are. And he's saying, and that's another thing, Cancers are self-deprecating, and it's true. And then other people dogpile on us because, you know, not everyone nowadays like admits their fault. So when you do, people just take it and run with it. Okay. Guys, you knew this was going to be crazy. So, okay, Robin, can I, yeah, okay, he's holding his hands together. He's like, go ahead. Okay. So this is my response, channeling Robin in a comment to Dr. Grande. So this is what I wrote. Coincidentally, I was just missing Robin Williams and watched the last documentary of him on Amazon last night. Robin saying, you're doing well. Thank you. He's so nice. I'm not a trained therapist, but since you do invite our opinions, I'll chime in. I think Robin Williams had a very quick mind and was an incredibly talented actor and comedian. I think those are positive qualities and shouldn't be tainted by having a disorder, which was Dr. Grande was talking a lot about his depression. I think he did have an abandonment issue. He's saying that's true from childhood, and he was a more so that he was an only child too, which a lot of only children just automatically feel this sense of abandonment because they're alone. Mixed with an addictive personality. He said, yes, I did have that. Sex, parentheses, sex, performance high, drugs, alcohol, food, parentheses, some depression, some anxiety, and then his neurological disorder that might have started earlier than when he passed. He's saying, yes, that's true. And that exacerbated his own issues and was exacerbated by drugs, alcohol, and a bit, because he took drugs for his disorder too, and a bit of metabolic disorder. And he says lots of people have that. It's from, gaining and losing weight or just being heavy. 2, from going up and down in weight. And also he had a little bit of exercise bulimia. But he really wants to make this clear, you guys. A lot of his life was happy. He's saying he had a great life. And yes, now he wants me to go back to the notebook, and this is what I wrote down. He is saying that it was his choice to pass. And he's referring to the song by Def Leppard. And there's a line in the song that's like, it goes, it's better to burn out than fade away. And he's singing it. He's doing the rock fingers. He's like, yes, that's how he wanted to go out. And also Kurt Cobain, who I want to channel, he also said that. And so, guys, like a lot of celebrities and just a lot of people, they really are tuned into their youthful energy. And their choice was to leave early because, like, as Def Leppard and Kurt Cobain said, sometimes it is better to burn out than fade away. Think of Marilyn Monroe, Princess Diana. Sometimes people want to be remembered, sort of on a high note. I guess, he didn't want to go through the debilitating illness and be seen as being old and debilitated. Also, so this is sort of swinging back around. He doesn't want to be remembered for his disorder, drugs, or depression, because those were small parts of his life. Okay, he's saying I can go back to the commentary. So he said a lot of his life was happy, and this is the commentary I wrote from channeling him. A lot of his life was happy, though, and he had some deep, caring relationships that spanned a lifetime. Oh, yes, Dr. Grande and some of his subscribers were thinking he was bipolar. Robin was not bipolar. So he was saying, I was saying, I do not think he was bipolar at all. His seemingly mania was turned off and on at will. And also he just had a way of communicating that wore him out, and he had to tone it down for others. That was him channeling. And the way he did it exhausted him. But But he's saying he didn't know he was a medium, so he would just, channel and then get worn out, and he would sometimes think he was depressed, but he was actually just exhausted. So let me go on. He never could not perform or act due to depression. That's why he's saying it wasn't full-blown depression, because it didn't prevent him from doing things. Yes, towards the end he was depressed because, he had that Lewy dementia disease, which got him down. It says he did turn on and off his energy himself, proving that he didn't have really bad depression or mania. He wasn't bipolar because he could turn his moods on and off, meaning he could channel too when he would open himself up. And sometimes he just channeled automatically. But what I'm saying is bipolar is like your chemistry and your moods and your brain change without your permission. So he didn't have that. Let me go on. So he could never not perform or act due to depression. He did turn on and off his energy himself. I don't like how his death and legacy in some people's eyes is just lumped in with the typical bipolar, crazy genius, all funny and talented people are effed up, etc. He had God-given talents, and sometimes, so this is just an example, guys, not all funny, talented people are insane. And you have to understand, sometimes Susan from accounting is bipolar, or Henry the insurance broker is an alcoholic, but we don't consider that to be a causal relationship to their job. So Robin wants to make clear that being a genius, being a medium like he was, being funny is not necessarily mean being crazy. And he really wants to drive that point home. He was not mentally ill. He had Lewy dementia towards the end, and that did affect him for a while before his death. But throughout his lifetime, he was not mentally ill, you guys. So it says, being rich and famous does enable you to overdo your vices. Also, this is, to be very clear, guys, please listen. Working at night creates this feedback loop. And I, as a flight attendant and comedian, worked at night, so I understand this. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go back. Working at night creates this feedback loop of being incredibly energetic when you should sleep, especially if you need to be present both night and day. Many celebrities have, and especially musicians, all kinds of celebrities, he's saying, many take downers and uppers for that reason. Performing at night and traveling by day, but being funny is, okay, so we're going on to another thing. So yes, guys, just understand that when musicians and actors and comedians are on the road, they're on a performance high after the show, and they need to eat and relax and try to go to bed. So they go to bed really late, and then often they have to get up early and travel to the next destination. So some of them in the past, they did take uppers and downers, but they weren't necessarily drug addicts, if that makes sense. So let me go on. So, and he said he did enjoy his vices, but He wasn't like a drug addict. He wasn't depressed. He wasn't bipolar. Okay. Whew, my heart is racing. So, okay. But I'm enjoying this energy. Okay, and he wants to talk about being funny too, because people associate like, oh, he had to suffer because he was funny. Excuse me. I have some water. And that goes with the whole crazy mad genius thing, like, oh, oh, it's just part of it. Part of being funny, like you have to suffer. He's saying, no, that's not exactly true. So he wants to make this very clear. Being funny is not always for attention, approval, or as a coping mechanism for pain. He was a medium, guys, and he had messages. Many people from stable upbringings are funny. Comedians are constantly self-deprecating, even when they're attractive and successful, because it's now become part of the shtick. Like, you have to put yourself down so that other people can appreciate your humor. It says I wrote this when I was channeling him. He said, I love how Jerry Seinfeld refuses to buy into all of that. He also hangs out with other comedians who are like-minded. And let me come up here. You can see that on comedians in cars getting coffee, if you want to pay attention to the aspect of that by watching that show with Jerry Seinfeld. So he said, comedians are constantly self-deprecating. Even when they're attractive and successful, it becomes part of the shtick. Okay, I've already said that. So he's complimenting Jerry again, and he says he refuses to be the dysfunctional comedian. He refuses to act like Peter Pan, drink excessively, cheat, badmouth his family, etc. And then back to Robin. The biggest percentage of his life was very positive, and Robin would really like you all to know that. He had some wonderful relationships, loved his family, and yes, he's saying he did have vices, and he did enjoy his life, and his life was about reaching those highs and taking things to the limit. But he was not depressed, guys. He was not bipolar. He keeps telling me this. And he was not a drug addict, although he did like drugs in his younger days. And he did take medication for his Lewy, what is that called? Lewy dementia. Okay. Sorry, it's a lot, guys. Let me go back to the notebook and see, maybe I've covered some of this stuff again. But he is saying he was very sensitive. He wants to give a message out to people. He's saying, please, please be yourself. He's seeing lots of copying, lots of copycats. And what that does is it waters down the original person, their talent, and then it also prevents the person copying them from reaching their talent. And why is he talking to me? My channel's about reaching your highest good. Yes. So I'm just reading through here, so I don't want to... he said again, he burned the candle at both ends. He also liked to be taken care of. So there's a quote that people read a lot about Robin, And it's why they think he was depressed, because he said one time, it's better to be alone than with people who make you feel alone. So yeah, there were times in his life, and that was not like pure depression. It's just that, you know, lots of people were attracted to Robin, but he had a very unique personality. So it was hard for him to hang around with people who weren't like-minded, so, which he did before he realized he needed to find his tribe. So sometimes he'd be aggravated because he had hangers-oners who, you know, he thought were like-minded, but then they just didn't get him. So that's where that quote comes from. He was into truth, which I am into on this channel. He wanted to keep things simple in the fact that even though he seemed sort of chaotic and complicated, it was all from love. He wasn't always trying to be funny, but did like when people laughed. He liked the shared joy. He disliked being in comedy sometimes because that's what led him to acting, was he didn't like to be around invulnerability. Okay. He liked being natural. He liked being naked, he's saying. Naked, raw, natural, and what was the other thing? Sorry, Robin. It's a lot. Vulnerable. That's it. Vulnerable. And he's saying, guys, if you get lost in your life, be yourself, be natural, be vulnerable, and find people, like-minded people who will accept that. And here I started writing sort of neat and slowly. He said it was tough being so in touch with both his masculine and feminine energy together. And it was kind of hard for him to find a partner because he had both. Wasn't always depressed, said that again. Big mess here. I don't know what that means. People need to do what they're best at. Yes, and that's why he's talking to me, because that's my big thing. He said business people are organizers, and now sometimes they are trying to take over comedy and acting, pushing talented people out, and he doesn't like that, you guys. He's saying it's not enough now to be talented. He's saying social media like YouTube and Instagram, TikTok are helping people sort of squeeze out that middleman. Some of those business people who are just good at organizing, he's saying they're good at organizing, but not understanding, like they don't know how to analyze talent. They just want to churn out the same stuff, and they want to take basically the energy and money from the talent. The wrong people are in power, and that he wants that to change. That's why he's doing, that's why he's saying all this stuff. It has a purpose. He wants that dynamic to change. Some good. There is good management out there too. It's a mix, which can be dangerous. That said there's, some people, he wants to say it again, are good at organizing. These are your accountants, your money managers, but, and and then there's some people that are good at memorizing, which can be, help them get roles and stuff, but they don't necessarily it's not the best talent. So, and he's saying talented people aren't always organized, but what can happen is they get taken advantage of. And he's just wanting to say again, he was mostly happy. He put a lot of pressure on his body. Again, stayed up late, got up early. He loved deeply. He enjoyed his life. He wasn't as depressed as people thought. And it's the narrative. And guys, please, 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 please stop this narrative of him. He's saying it's not that dramatic. If you want to stand up for him, you can. But this message is more just so people just understand truth, because he was big into the truth. And his message to you all, again, be true to yourself and don't shrink. Okay, Robin, is that all you wanted to say? He's saying nanu nanu. He's doing a whole bit right now. He's dancing, he's twirling, but yes. And he said it's okay that you repeated yourself. And guys, he's asking you to have patience. This is about the message. If I repeated myself, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect either. And he says perfection is super boring. And he's sick of it. He said, but okay, it's been going on a while now. So if he has more to say now that we're buds, right? He's like, don't push it. Okay. I don't have that many friends anyway. He's like, I know, that's why I'm here. Okay, guys. He's super self-deprecating, and so am I. So anyway, I'm gonna go, and bye, Robin. I love you. He's like, no, he turned around and he's like, went to give me like a fake hug, like not fake, but like, anyway, guys, that's it for Robin Williams for today. And if he has more to say, I will make another video. All right, bye, guys. Love you. All right, bye.